today, Oscar. To my left, or in this box right now, is David. And over at, once again, hopefully very toasty Arizona, is our boy, Eddie Sanchez.
So
All right. Now, today, we are all going to discuss what I'm sure a lot of people are wanting to talk about is the Winter Soldier. I'm sorry, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, the Falcon and Winter Soldier.
It's going to be one and two because we didn't get to do an episode last week about the first episode. So hopefully you guys are willing to sit down and listen to our jabbering. And we're going to kick it off. First, we're going to do our thoughts on the overall story so far. So who wants to kick it off first, gentlemen?
I'll go. I enjoy it. I like it. I feel like it's starting off with just the downtime from major events for all the characters. It's like them building up personal, or the audience building up a personal feel for the individual characters, which is kind of slow, maybe somewhat boring depending on who you are, but you get to see their struggle when they're not out saving the world. So I like it so far. I still think it's going to be some time to build up, but not bad. Not bad so far. What about you, Ed?
Yeah, not bad so far. I'm seeing the difference, like the difference between WandaVision and the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Just completely, like, obviously I'm sure they use same cameras, but it feels different, right? It has a different feel. Maybe this one just has a little bit more grittiness, I would say, to it. Maybe it's just how they do it in the editing. But I don't know if you got that feel too, because it didn't feel like WandaVision at all. It completely felt it. Maybe it had to do with the tone, but I mean, so far I'm liking it. I like the aspect that they're doing is after the blip. This is kind of like how this is how superheroes kind of live outside of just knocking heads and taking down villains, right? This is their day-to-day and what happens on a day-to-day and the struggles they go through and stuff like that. So I like that aspect of it, and I like that storytelling of it. You're right, David, a little slow, but I feel like it's going to be a nice burn.
I feel like they wanted to try to put more action in the beginning, though. Like instead of WandaVision where you're automatically in like this fairy tale land, they wanted to show like he's still active. He just has struggles aside from that.
Yeah,
which they still have to deal with, like somewhat psychological issues because they're questioning themselves and their character.
Yeah.
But so that's the only difference that I saw with WandaVision.
I like that. I actually care. Don't get me wrong. WandaVision was cool, but the first 2-3 episodes was just them making me feel nostalgic about all the older TV shows. But this time, like, I actually care about, like, what's going on through our characters' heads, like the Falcon and Bucky, and the action was pretty cool. It looked really good. I was actually surprised, like, damn, they got the budget. But is it a little slow? Yeah, I mean, yeah, but again, like, I feel like, I don't know, maybe it's because you weren't the Navy, but
well, I think it's slow, like I said, because it's that in between time. Like, yeah, there's tons of action, but like for the story, like they're filling in the small gaps. So that downtime, you're just like, okay, great, I guess. Like,
yeah.
Like, let's see what's going on. Like, oh, okay, some hurt feelings. Okay,
I do like the struggle with the Falcon and his sister with like them trying to get a bank loan. I was like, I've been there.
Disney trying to keep it relevant. Like, hey, here's the struggle everyone feels.
Oh yeah, because they're hurting too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that aspect too, because it gives you more of a it brings you down to into relatable. That character Sam is more relatable now, because previously all we saw was just he's a superhero. He joined Captain America. They became friends, and it's just like the superhero portion of it. And that's all you see. It's just him fighting, whatever. And here, when he was like driving up to meet up with his sister, driving some beat up like Dodge Dakota or something like that, and I was like, "Yo, like this guy's a superhero. Like, how much are you making, bro? Like, what the hell's going on? You're over here saving lives and stuff, and you're not getting paid anything." So
I mean,
like,
their main money maker is gone.
I noticed that, and then they're going through like the struggle of the financials with the boat and stuff like that. And they're trying to get loans. So it's like, okay, like, so superheroes don't get paid a lot of money. Like, I'm thinking like this is a more real world type of scenarios, and it lets me connect with those characters, Bucky as well, because they're humans, they're just humans with just a little bit more abilities.
Yeah.
I feel like the Avengers are kind of messed up. They can't watch out for their own.
For real.
They can't drop a little change in different directions.
Tony Stark, man, he could have just dropped some change to everybody who's part of the Avengers. No,
right.
He decided not to.
Come on, I know Cap has some investments he could have left behind with that shield.
Right. I mean, I don't know, man. Like, it does bring a good question. Like, how did they like pay for their day-to-day costs? Like, if Tony Stark wasn't like funding them, I don't know. I mean, strippers.
Yeah. What he should have done, a little twist to the story, it should have been him trying to get the money back after he pawned the shield to bring his to get his boat bought back.
He got money for that?
No. He just pawns off the shield like, all right, I'm good now. Like, let's make some money. We can keep it going.
It's vibranium, so it would be a lot of money.
You're right. See?
There you go. It brings a bunch of cash. Speaking of the shield, the one thing that I thought was a little weird, because I watched episode 1 again today. When I first watched it last week, just a lot of interference. My son playing with his toys and a bunch of stuff like that. The dogs barking and stuff like that. Yeah. So I feel like I needed to watch it again to like see if I missed any of the dialogue, stuff like that. Right. And when I was watching it again, I got it from the first time, but I watched it again, and I still got it the second time that I watched episode 1. Was it just me, or did them leading up to that news program where they're just like, we need a new hero, we need a new face for for the shield, and did that just come out of nowhere? Was it just me? Because I was like, because that seems like it would have followed a big major event where they do a press and they're just like, we need the shield again, we need another Captain America, introducing the new Captain America, but it just like the whole episode happened, and then out of nowhere, out of the blue, they're just like, oh, we need a new face for the United States or whatever. Like, I forgot the dialogue, but like, and then they introduced the new Captain America. I just thought that was just a little misplaced. It just came out of nowhere, I thought.
Yeah, I kind of understand what you're saying, but I mean, the way I see it, I feel like they planned that out way ahead of time. Like, even before, like, what's his name gave up the shield. Like,
they planned it right after the blip.
Yeah, because think about it. Like, at one point, you saw the Falcon looking at posters, and there's that scene where like the new captain is autographing the new figures, and I'm like, yo, that takes at least 5 months, right? Mm-hmm. So like, the government was like planning way ahead, like, we're gonna get that shield back. So while we're negotiating, let's do the outfit. Let's pick out, because he had to be training too. Like, there's no way he just picked up a shield, because he doesn't have the super soldier serum in him, right?
So and that covers a little bit in episode 2. Now that you mention it, because they showed a little bit of a montage of the training that he had to do for him to become the next Captain America. So yeah, I'm sure that happened months prior to them announcing it. So I see that.
I bet all the toy stores had their toy in there 2 months before the shield was given up.
I think it was messed up. I think it was messed up they didn't even give him a heads up to like the Falcon or even Bucky, because they have like.
But he forfeited it though. You know what I mean? Like, it was at that point they're like, oh, like, we got it now. Yeah, it doesn't belong to anybody but us. Like,
but I mean, you think like after all the stuff they did, they would at least give him a phone call like, hey, I don't want you to get blindsided with this, but we feel like America needs like a face and a protector, So like, but no, they're like Eddie was saying, like, they wake up one day and like, look at this, like this is bullcrap.
It makes sense to me. I expected that to happen. Like, they're not going to care about. They don't even give them any salaries.
I get it.
Like, hey, appreciate you guys. Thanks for coming. Thanks for bringing me back to existence.
Yeah.
Life sucks. Figure out how to get along to survive.
no work history for 5 years. What's that about?
Yeah.
I bet
for
they
real.
gave him like, here's $20. Give us a shield. You feel good about yourself. Appreciate it. All right, let's do what we need to make some money.
You know how funny it would have been, like, you know how like they had like the hot plates with all the home cooked food, and like, sir, you were gonna get some fish and grits. Fuck you now.
Well, he didn't give him any, right?
I wouldn't.
They took off.
Yeah, he was pissed.
I'm about to go sell these hot plates, make some money. Shoot.
Jesus.
Yeah, like you expect that kind of, like, you knew there was going to be, once you forfeit the shield, like they were in charge. Any like shield or sword, like they would have done the same thing. They're not going to acknowledge the heroes. That's a condition of being a superhero.
Yeah.
You get screwed over in your personal life.
Yeah.
Like unless you have money.
Unless you got money, Tony Stark.
Unless you have money,
Do
it
your
doesn't
own thing.
happen too often.
Or you're a god and you're Thor.
Which you have money.
Does he? Because like Asgard's gone.
Oh, I guess now he doesn't.
He's poor.
But he's white. He's okay.
I mean, yeah, you're right. He's like, you can't get any whiter, dude. He's like Viking white.
So,
I mean,
how do you guys feel about the villains so far? Like they're so forgettable to me. I don't remember the name of the group that's the
Black.
villains.
Is it Black something? Or...
yeah,
I forget.
they are very forgettable.
Yeah.
They're super forgettable. Like
But
I
I
couldn't.
think
Like,
that's
they
the
mentioned the
thing about
name of them like 2 times, and I still can't remember what they're named. They don't really seem to be putting too much of the. I can't really tie in what the purpose of the story is.
So I feel
far
like
for them.
story-wise, and like, I mean, if you, I guess, like watch documentaries and stuff like that, like that's a good thing. Like, I know they're trying to be like publicized so people can see them, but right now they're building themselves up underground.
Okay.
So like, even though like, I mean, we probably should remember them so we can keep watching. Like, oh yeah, like it makes sense for them to only be mentioned very briefly because it's like a build up who they are. You're still questioning who they are now. Like you don't want to know who they are from the get go and piece it together.
See,
But they're super soldiers, right? They're essentially like Buckies, right?
Yes, that's what they're like knockoff.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're the what it was the wish
The wish.
wish
Which version of
wish
Super
versions,
soldiers?
wish soldiers.
See, my theory is the reason they're so forgettable is because they're not the real villain, and it's gonna be the Wish version of Captain America.
Which I think so too. Which
The Kirkland brand.
It's like
the Kirkland brand.
I hope they punch that underbite into an overbite or whatever it's called.
I still like him right now though.
I hate that.
I like his character. His Hoskins, is that his psychic?
It starts with H.
I believe so. It starts with H O something.
I'm not too fond of
you're
that character, but I feel like the new Captain America, he's like on the line where he could be good or bad.
Mhm.
Mhm.
But like the way his character is, he's at the like stages of Captain America, right? So yeah, the original Captain America started out just wanting to be good. He couldn't do anything. Then he got the chance to do for other people, which he just wanted to help people. And then he's like slowly builds up where he has the strength, and then he's like, oh wait a minute, now I'm a weapon, and so he backs away. So right now, this new Captain America, he's like in the weapon phase, like, and he's just being utilized as a weapon. He doesn't really see it, but that's all he knows. And so like thing as far as like the character, like I was telling Oscar earlier, there's one scene where he's like Captain America was all about guts, and he had tons. You have tons of guts to be Captain America, you know. If you look at the first Avenger, the scene where he's in boot camp and they throw the grenade down.
Yeah.
Right before, the guy's like, yeah, you have to have guts. And so you see him dive on the grenade and, hover over it.
Right.
But then you realize, like, there's more to it than just the guts, because that's not what made Captain America. Like, he had guts, but the whole reason he was picked for it wasn't because of the military aspect.
It was the American butt.
The American butt, yeah. The American butt.
You didn't have it at the time.
Yeah. He had no ass at all at the time. Yeah.
Listen, even small butts count, okay?
But to show the fact that he said that showed how much more military he was than the original Captain America. Like he had that more structure, more weapon type mentality. of what needed to be Captain America. He lost, like the actual particulars of what made Captain America Captain America.
Yeah. So you're basically saying the heart of Captain
Yeah,
America.
he doesn't have the heart of Captain America. He wants to feel the shoes. He's seeking it, but I feel like he's trying too hard to look the part as opposed to actually be the part.
I get it. It makes sense. Still don't like that, though.
Well,
So I think
Jason in the chat is saying there's only one Captain America. So
true.
There is. It's Chris Evans that played him. He played him, and that's like whenever you think of Captain America now, like that's who you envision as Captain America. So for them to toss this in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, it's unexpected for everybody because it's like, damn, like that's way too soon. Like Endgame was just a year ago, a year and a half ago. And then now they're kind of throwing this in here.
Technically, it's only 5 months.
In
the series is 5 months after.
In the series, yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
It's only 5 months.
But they're doing it. The MCU is doing it for us, David. They're doing it for us.
I mean, even it's worse. 5 months, and you're like, hey, let's replace them all.
Yeah.
Next series is Iron Man, right?
Is it?
No.
Oh, but I said right damn. You guys are more up on this than I am.
Just knocking them off.
But it shows, and I like how it's showing on Bucky and Sam. It's really showing how it's affecting them, like mentally.
Yeah.
Because you're right, David. It's only 5 months after the blip, so to them, it's like this is way too soon.
Yeah.
It's to have somebody like your friend who was Captain America, and then now just be replaced like nothing. Like, oh, we need a new one. There you go. Let's get this guy in there.
I feel like part of it is because it's a psychic series. Bucky and Falcon are essentially Captain America's psychic. You know what I mean? And so now, which like their forced grudge between each other, I think is kind of forced. But yeah, it's just like kind of somewhat sibling rivalry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're both like, Bucky was the old sidekick, you know what I mean? He grew up with him, he knew him his whole life. Now he's dealing with the new one, or the newest one. And now they got some guy pretending to be the main guy. They're like, what the heck? Like, who are you?
Yeah.
Jason says Bucky should have taken the shield after Endgame. I don't agree with that though, because it wasn't up to him. It wasn't up to Bucky. It was up to Captain America. He's the one that chose Sam for a reason. I mean, could I have seen him giving it to Bucky instead? I think maybe, but at the end of the day, it's how the movie ended, right? He chose to give it to Sam
at one point, yeah. But it's because of the character, though. It's the character of the individual. I think Bucky still has a lot of like development, especially at that point. He had a lot of development, and Steve Rogers recognized that. Like he didn't, it's a childhood friend. He knows he should know him better than anybody, considering they're both the same age, just about.
Not to mention, like
106 years old.
106, yeah.
Not to mention the world knows like his war crimes, I guess you would call, because of Hydra. So that probably would have been like a harder sell. But
that's true.
Speaking of Bucky, man, that man's story with like that old man's son.
Yeah.
God, that was good.
Yeah, I liked how they tied those in together. That must be challenging, man. Knowing that you did that and you're talking to the father of the kid that you shot.
Yeah.
Like holy crap. Yeah, and it really shows a lot of they implemented a lot of character development for Bucky, and they're giving them room, especially for the actor to kind of really express and everything like that. So I really like that. I really like that.
It makes me think of like how good his memory is for him to remember in all his instances, and also like how much he was there. He couldn't stop it. Like how much of a struggle he had actually going through all those moments. You know what I'm saying? And another thing, I was telling Oscar, like thinking about Bucky, I imagine that the blip doesn't affect him as much as everybody else.
That's a good point.
Only because his whole life is a blip. Because he would get activated and then he would get shut down. Activated and shut down. So really that's just like, for him, I think that's like nothing.
Right.
He's just struggling with his actions before that. So, and I think it's nice to kind of see his actual struggle now.
Yeah.
At least character-wise, character build-up.
Yeah. So the one thing I picked up though that I really liked was the chemistry between Bucky and Sam. I really liked their chemistry. I think that they have a certain chemistry going on in their dialogue that it's gonna make this feel like a buddy cop movie.
Right.
Like the
Good cop, bad cop.
Good cop, bad cops,
Good cop, bad cop.
that type of chemistry and that type of dialogue. I'm a huge fan of that. You know, that came out in movies, especially like in the 90s. And what was the one with Mel Gibson? Lethal Weapon.
Lethal Weapon.
Like that was a buddy cop movie. Rush Hour was a buddy cop movie. Like those movies, those two characters that, you know, they feed off of each other. And I see them two really feeding off of each other when they're put in that cell together with the counselor or whatever. And she makes them turn and like face each other and like get super close. I loved it. I felt like I was a little worried because that scene could have dragged on a little bit too long, but man, they did such a great job in it, and like I was like giggling and laughing. I was like, this is funny.
Yeah, I like that scene you're talking about. I like how like they really broke down like Bucky psychologically, like like you fucked up, like he was supposed to, you know, like keep the shield, and I'm supposed to do this, but now because of you, like I'm having doubts.
He's like struggling with himself and more like he was wrong about you because you're not taking it now. Like, who am I? Am I really good? Can I make up for what I've done?
Yeah.
So I do like that. And what you're saying, as far as like the good cop, bad cop, it's just Marvel's version of the Brothers.
Yeah.
Oh, the HBO show?
No. Brothers with Will Ferrell and Step Brothers. Sorry,
Step Brothers.
The Marvel version of Step Brothers.
Okay.
Took me a second.
Except there won't be no nutsack on drum sets.
I don't know. People are dying. That might happen.
So that's their version of nutsacks on drum sets?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I was thinking about that compared to like Marvel compared to DC, right? So the Justice League movie, it was rated R because the extra bit of blood, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this one, the first few minutes, you have all these people dying. You see blood in the eye and they're
murdering people left and right.
Yeah. I was like, he goes out, you see him snatch a guy out of the helicopter. I mean, he's not going to fall safely to the ground.
It was like a military contract, right? So he's got license to kill at that point.
Oh, so it's okay. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I mean,
did they explain what the hell was the big deal about them trying to kidnap that Air Force soldier?
He was a liaison officer.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Because I'm like, why do I care about this dude? Like, just go. It's like, and I was cool that they brought back the main. The boss of that crew from Winter Soldier.
Yeah, I noticed that too. I was like, that's the same guy that fought Captain America on the boat. They kind of went, toe to toe with each other, and he looked familiar. And I was like, yep, that's him. So I saw that too, and I was like, oh, I'm glad they brought him back to kind of tie some sort of Hydra into this.
Is he Hydra? Is he Hydra?
He was. I believe he was Hydra.
Oh, okay.
Or
everyone's Hydra.
Everyone's Hydra.
I'm down with that. Like, let me sleep at night when they pull the trigger.
I will say though, I mean, I'm on the side of the superheroes, but kudos to those bad guys. I don't know if you noticed how fast they were able to get in their gear and parachutes, strap a guy on his back, and jump out while Falcon was down.
Yeah.
For that like brief minute or two. So,
dude, thank you, David. You know me. You know I'm somebody that picks apart these movies or series because I look at aspects of like the editing, I look at the aspects of the costumes, the set design, and I piece these things together and I'm like, oh, that was a good edit, or like, oh crap, that was shitty. And I caught on to that, and I'm glad you mentioned it because I didn't want to say it because I would be, oh, there goes Eddie being nitpicky again. But no, it was like they just punched Falcon, the scene like goes to Falcon like falling, and it just turns back and he has his suit already. And I was like, what? Like, when did he put that on?
Everybody got beat. After everybody got beat down.
I was just like, what is going on? He just instantly, like, he was wearing different clothes, punched him, and then the scene just turns back to him, and he's already just all suited up, ready to jump out of the plane. I was like, what is going on? I was like, that's bad.
Yeah.
But
I still like they wanted the action scene. I still enjoyed the action scene. Like,
yeah, it looked really good too.
Yeah.
Like, I was damn surprised. I was like, this budget. Like,
oh yeah,
good job.
I like the fact that when you watch it, you feel like you're still watching a movie, not just a TV show. So, I mean, I don't know if you can tell the difference when you watch TV shows and stuff.
Mhm.
Like, I've noticed now they try and do that more, but
Yeah.
like you feel like you're watching a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
So this, at least to me, has better rewatchability than WandaVision.
So far, yes, I agree with that.
Have you tried rewatching WandaVision again?
Yes.
Oh, you have? I haven't. I was just saying someone did.
Dude, like, I'm not gonna lie, like those first 3 episodes, I'm like, God damn, like I had actual more fun watching the original shows they're based on, you know, like Bewitched and all that.
I'm gonna watch it again. I can't be that bad. It was so good.
Like after like episode 4, I can watch it again, but not those first 3. And,
Fair enough. I mean, I'm not worried about it now because I want to watch Falcon and Winter Soldier, but
Yeah.
But let me ask you this: like, out of all the new characters that were introduced, like, what do you guys feel is like the strongest one so far? Like, I personally like the little, not little, the dude who's like in the first episode, like watching Falcon with the binoculars, and then later on he asking if he can like help him fix what's the little bird drone called?
I had it was
You know what I'm
Red
talking
Hawk.
about.
It's not Red Hawk.
I think it is Red Hawk.
Red Hawk.
But you know he's the Air Force guy.
See, yeah.
Like I think it's
by Danny Ramirez. Joaquin Torres is his character. I feel like they're trying to they might try to set him up for something in the future, kind of like how Sam in the Winter Soldier was to Captain America, and kind of just like they bonded, became friends, and then it turned into him being the Falcon. They might try to do that for Joaquin Torres. I don't know much about him.
Makes sense.
I don't know if there's any tie-in or anything in the comics that has this character turn into something in the future, or maybe he just has a really big importance to this actual story of just the Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
I mean, I hope so. The fact that he's holding intel from his military job to give to some contractor.
But I mean, he's got heart though. Like you saw him.
He does.
Try to go up against that one dude.
I would not have done that.
Yes.
I would not have done that. I know. Like you see this guy get tossed, and you're like, let me go run and try it, see what I can do.
We were watching that episode today, my wife and I, and when he FaceTimes Sam, and like the quality was like 4K, like I was like, man, I wish we had that. She was like, yeah, isn't he like in a different like country? And they're FaceTiming, and he has like 4K quality, and I was like, yeah, like what the heck? Like I wish I had that type of quality when I FaceTime people.
See, that's what I'm saying. He needs to start pawning stuff so he can get his family afloat.
I mean, true that, man. But yeah, that was so far my favorite character of the new supporting characters. I mean, what do you guys feel about like the new people they're introducing?
I'll let you go real quick, Eddie, and then I'll.
Well, we haven't gotten really that many people in regards to supporting cast besides Joaquin Torres. All the other characters are just like in it for just a minute or two, and then their scene ends. So I don't have one as of yet. I'm not really too fond of Joaquin, to be honest with you. I feel like he's just a filler character just to give exposition and tie in the story. So unless he starts really doing something and impresses me that way, I still have to, I feel like I have to give it another few episodes to kind of to see where this goes in regards to characters, supporting characters.
Gotcha.
I can't think of any supporting characters, but I like that they brought in Isaiah.
Which one's Isaiah?
The Black Winter or Black Super Soldier.
Black Super Soldier.
Oh yeah, I think he's supposed to be like Captain, the first Black Captain America, right?
I thought that was kind of cool. And he's like, again, I feel like Disney kind of keeping with the times.
Right.
Like, that was the first Black Captain America. We didn't know. Like, why didn't you say anything?
Yeah. I think in the comics, like the super soldier serum that he got, because no one could ever perfect Steve Rogers serum.
Mm-hmm.
So like the one they gave to him, it actually like messes up his head and like
Oh
I
yeah.
think it's like Alzheimer's or something like that. Like even Luke Cage when he first meets him, he's like he's the original. Like so. I don't know.
I bet during all these events in the MCU, he's like, ain't none of my business.
Mhm.
He's like, I ain't doing none of that. You
Yeah.
screwed me over. So I'm sitting back and watch.
Yeah.
Does he have any tie-in with Luke Cage?
I don't think what little I read about it, I don't think in the comics he did it. It's just more like one of those things that once it came to light, like it became a big inspiration for the Black community. So like when Luke Cage first met him, like he was almost like what's it called when you meet a movie star?
Starstruck.
Yeah, starstruck. Yeah.
I just didn't. I didn't know, so I figured I'd ask.
Yeah, I think his grandson. I think that's his grandson. You know, the young guy who like opens the door. I forget. He's Patriot in the comics, like in the
okay.
in Marvel's version of like Teen Titans. So like, if he may have inherited the super serum.
Oh, maybe
I
maybe it's like a little way to introduce more characters.
Oh yeah,
nonchalantly, just sprinkling them in.
Yeah, because if you think about it, if they bring him in with like the two kids from WandaVision, but older, they could start off like they're. I forget what they call them in the Marvel comics, but they could start off like their own version of Teen Titans. That'd be cool.
There we go.
They're thinking about doing Young Avengers, right?
Are they?
Mm-hmm.
That's
what the word around town is. I don't know.
That would make sense because isn't like Hawkeye's show like about him training
him training his daughter?
Oh. Yeah, so that would make sense because she is part of the Young Avengers now.
And then the person to take up in the comics after Tony Stark is Starlight, I think.
The Starheart.
Star. So she's another like genius that creates her own mech or her own suit similar to Tony Stark's. So supposedly, I think she's already been casted, or they're already looking to cast her. So I think I might be doing like a young Avengers.
See, I feel like that'd be really interesting.
Yeah,
I don't know how they'll do it, but I'd watch it.
Yeah,
Jason
said,
okay so far. Typical Marvel generic buddy sidekick. Yeah, see, he agrees with me. He's just generic character.
Is it just me or is it like their moments of like being angry at each other seems sometimes at force at times?
Like, it's very forced. Like, like they're all buddy, and it's like, I can't stand you. Why are we here? What do you want from me? And then they have their little emotional moments.
Yeah. I mean, nothing gets better than that little crutch scene though. They're like,
really
lock eyes, and
I like the scene when the cops roll up on him.
Oh, that one! As soon as I saw that, I'm like, ooh.
I like it because Bucky got arrested instead, but
yeah, they did treat him too nice though. You know what I'm saying?
You're right. They did. They're like, "Can you put these on for us, please?"
Yeah, I was like,
"Come here, Mr. Barnes."
Or maybe they felt like,
and he's a criminal. He killed tons of people, and they treated him nice.
Or maybe they feel like
he had a bad day.
No, he had a bad day. No. Maybe they felt like the Falcon was like, I know you don't have any super strength. Other than that wingsuit, you can't do jack shit. This dude's got a vibranium arm. He can like crack my head open.
I don't know. Yeah, right. Probably. I don't know if you guys know, but like you see like Falcon struggling in normal life until they recognize that he's a superhero. They're like, oh, shoot. Did you play football in LSU? You know what I mean? Like, were you on this football team? Oh, no, you're somebody important. You're famous. Okay. But yeah, aside from you being famous, your normal self, no, you can't get any money. Yeah, sorry.
I think I had two favorite scenes. It was definitely when they were locked legs together, and they're pretty much like eye to eye. That was definitely when we spoke about that one. The second one that made me laugh and my wife laugh was when Bucky jumps out of the plane because he's like, I don't need a parachute. he kind of thinks about it. He's like, God damn it, and he like jumps out of the plane, falls, and like. That's when Sam comes up. He's like, I got that on camera, right? I recorded that, right? that was one of my favorite scenes. We laughed at that.
Good. I said I did like that. He was like yelling as he falls down. There wasn't no confidence.
My favorite scene is like when they break the drone, and he's like, I've always wanted to do that.
Yeah, in the middle of a fight. Thank you. Thank you.
That was another scene that just editing, man. It's just editing. It's just like Bucky goes to the truck in front, opens the back. And the whole time I'm like, so the driver behind them is just not gonna do anything.
Just hanging out.
They're
Just hanging out, just not doing anything. So when Bucky it gets hit and hits on the back of the truck, and I saw hands right above him, and I was like, what the heck? Like, well, that was a weird edit. Like, why are there hands there? And then it shows the guys pick him up, and I'm like, where did these villains come from?
Like ninjas.
They were
toss
getting
them from the truck to the other truck, and then they're just magically there's villains on top of that truck now. I was like, what is going on?
They were just waiting to like let him get comfortable. We'll get in place, have a coordinated attack, so it looked a lot better. You know what I mean? They got priorities, all right. They want to look good when they're attacking somebody, all right.
No, but I have to agree. Like, it was kind of weird. Like when he first, like he runs super fast, rips this door open, and like Eddie was saying, like they're just watching him. In my head, I'm like,
yeah, this guy just runs out of nowhere.
you guys have a gun at least, right? Like you can shoot him, right? I never got it, but maybe I'm playing, like the guessing game, but maybe like they were just waiting there to see like when the little girl was gonna kick his ass, just chewing on their foot. I don't know, like chips or
possibly. It just it didn't feel right. I was just like, what are they doing? Like, what did they just not even honk the horn? Like nothing.
If it was Falcon, they would have hit him. No, I mean, it does. It was kind of awkward that they just popped out of nowhere when you think immediately they would just start going and attacking this guy. But I mean, they feel like they're probably focused more on like the flight scenes and stuff like that.
That's where all their budget went.
I think so. I feel like that's like they're worried more on how to make Falcon look good. You know what I mean, as opposed to Bucky.
Yeah.
I mean, all right, Bucky. Like back to Bucky. Like his acting is killing it, dude. Like every time, like he's staring people, he just wants to like beat the living hell out of them. Like just that face alone, especially when like fake Captain America is just like, does he always stare like this? I'm like, yeah, hell yeah.
I like their little the dialogue they had between all four of them when they're in the back of the truck.
Yeah,
they seem to have good dialogue in between all those actors, and just their characters overall.
Right.
Bucky, of course, Sam, the new Captain America, and his sidekick. They seem to have like witty, good little punchline humor. So
it was good. You see the resentment. You can see some of the resentment, disliking the guy, which I think, like story wise, that's going to be part of what sets him over, which I think you kind of see at the end of the second episode.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he's trying to recruit them. He's like, hey, I'm just trying to get your respect. But he's doing it more of like, I need you guys to be my sidekicks. He's like, I need you as my wingman.
You're right.
And and they pick that up and they're like, nah, forget that. Like, don't want to give him a chance. I think that's going to set him over to be a bad guy.
What's his name? Captain Wilson, right? Like, yeah, dude, as much as I hate him after the end of episode 2, in the beginning, I was like, kind of like, okay, he seems chill. And then little by little, I start not liking him. But that just goes to show, like, he's playing the part good. If what I believe is going to happen at the end is going to happen.
So what do you think is gonna like happen with that particular with that Captain America?
I personally think he's gonna be the villain, like, because like when they got that text saying like you got something that belongs to me, I'm gonna kill you. In my head, I'm like, he wants the super soldier serum because he's over there. He's just pretending to be captain, and I think after he got his ass kicked on top of the trucks, like he started realizing like without that serum, I'm just half of the package.
I wonder if the serum's like temporary.
That's not a bad idea.
And so that's why it has to get it back.
That's not a bad idea, damn.
And so that's why he's been able to perform so well, because he's been doping it up.
Yeah.
Speculation. Yes.
I mean, Viagra only lasts so long.
Speculation, but yeah, I can see him turning into a villain. But I think part of him being a villain is going to come from Bucky and the Falcon, and then they'll realize it, but it'll be too late.
I can see that. Like the resentment just makes it fuels his doubt. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I couldn't really pinpoint as of right now, like so far yet, because you definitely get the vibes from the what's his name, John Walker.
Mhm.
You get the vibes that he is trying. You get the vibes that he is trying to actually be Captain America, like the best Captain America that he can be. He's a
Mhm.
little smirk. He's a little. He is a little cocky, but in a confident way. Like like he has confidence in his abilities. And I got that vibe that he, like, I don't know. I just don't get the villain vibes as of yet from him. Do I see that happening? Do I see him? Maybe he is gonna be. He's trying to dose up. Maybe that is one way that they're doing it is because of that the super serum. And he's
Yeah.
dosing up, and he needs it to be. That's why he was able to become Captain America, is because he was able to outbeat everybody else because he was all doped up on it. So he was able to outperform everybody, and because of it turned him into that villain. So I do see that. I just didn't get that vibes right off the bat.
I take back my statement. I think once they catch the people with the serum, that's going to add on to it. Like he'll probably take it, and because even in the first one when they do the experiments, it's all about the person's or the personality of the individual, and so that's why Red Skull turned red. So I feel like maybe this will mess him up psychologically, taking the serum and now make him a bad guy.
You think like the temptations is gonna be too strong when he sees it?
That, but when he takes it, it'll enhance it, and so
Okay.
he'll be a fiend. He'll need to take it and then I won't be like Golem, like need the drug and then be bad guy for needing the drug.
That'd be cool. I mean, but I wonder how, if that's the case, like, how would that affect? What's that dude that they're trying to go talk to? Vmore or
Baron Zemo.
Zemo? Yeah. I
The
wonder how that
villain from Winter Soldier.
Yeah, was it? No, Civil War, right?
Civil War.
Yeah,
Sorry,
Civil
War.
No, you're good. You're good.
Don't let it happen again.
I get a timeout.
But I wonder how that would affect if, like, would he talk him into being a douchebag, or would he just like?
I mean, he hypnotized Barnes, right? Wasn't he the one that hypnotized him?
No, he wasn't the one that hypnotized him. He's the one that knew about it and was the one that pretty much unleashed it by doing that weird.
So he knows how they did it.
Yes.
Yeah, because he tortured a bunch of ex-Hydra people to get the codes and all that, right? Yeah.
Dang, I need to rewatch the movie. It's been a while.
It's like my favorite Marvel movie, dude.
It's been a while. I still like the first Captain America.
I mean, the first one's good, but like I feel like that the Winter Soldier was just like when people started taking comic books, like comic book movie series, they're in the Dark Knight.
I can see it. That's why they made the series. They made Falcon and the Winter. They had to put in the Winter Soldier because it was that good.
The show does remind me a lot of the Winter Soldier too, dude. Like the movie, like especially the credits. Like, do you get that vibe?
I can see it.
Yeah,
I mean, it's been a while, but yeah, I see that. I like it. I'm excited for next week to see how they're going to progress character wise.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing, David. Like as far as the new MCU, the new way that they're going, which is the show to movie to show to movie. Definitely, I'm liking this a lot better than WandaVision. And this one actually, like WandaVision, was just more of like, oh, your camera died. WandaVision was just more of like, next episode. I guess I'll watch it whenever I can. This one, I'm a little bit more like, all right, like I kind of like I want to, next Friday, like I want to see what's gonna happen. So I'm liking this one a lot more.
All right.
I'm excited. My camera died, so. What do you guys think? I think it was good.
I think so far we've hit all the key points.
Yeah.
All right, then. So, again, everyone on YouTube, thank you for joining us. Or if you're watching this post live, thank you for giving us a shot. I'm Oscar, my boy David, our homie Eddie Sanchez, all the way in Arizona. I'd like to thank you all for coming, and hopefully we'll see you again next week. This is Guyverse signing out. Peace.
Later, guys.